Now, I think you can be sexy. I think that can be a verb. Like,
I can't. It's a little low. I can't really.
Oh, hang on. What's it? I turned down your thing. Hang on. You're in number 3. How's that now?
Can I hear myself? No, can't hear anything.
Hang on. Let me see what it looks. Oh, you're in number 2. How about now?
Can I hear it? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
But I was gonna say, like, being sexy can be a verb too. Like, but you have to act sexy, you know?
You can sexy things up or
Yes.
sexy things down.
Right. So I think that's both. You can be sexy as she is sexy or he is sexy, but then you can act in a sexy fashion.
You can do things sexily.
Yes, I think so. I think it's both. I think you got to take that into account.
It's an adverb right there.
Yes, I think it is.
Right there.
Now, I got this new microphone here, this Rode Pod mic. These things have been flying off the shelves, so I'm going to see how this sounds. Do I sound good over there?
You sound incredible.
Thank you for that lie. I appreciate it. Okay. So,
well, I can't tell the difference, actually. It sounds like good,
like,
normal you.
I tweaked it a little bit, so we're going to find out how well this thing works. There's a setting on my my mixer here for this particular mic. So welcome to the Transmit Podcast. I'm your host, Spike.
I'm Victor.
Thank you for that. That's good. That's a lovely bit of pause there. That's called dramatic effect. Right there.
Yeah.
So what we saw, we're going to talk about the movie Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
You know what a Harley Quin is? A Harley Quinn's role.
Oh. Man. The production value. There it is.
To serve. It's nothing.
I thought it was going to be an ad.
Yeah, me too. I thought
No
I'd
one
let it
gives
sit too
two
long.
shits who we are beyond that.
I mean, honestly, I think in this movie they cared about her in a lot of ways,
Joker
actually.
and I broke up. I wanted a fresh start. But it turns out I wasn't the only dame in Gotham looking for emancipation.
So they hinted at the ability for her to break glasses with her voice there.
Yeah, they didn't hint at it strong enough, though. So the thing is, they for Black Canary there, if they counted on you, I think, to know the deal with Black Canary. Honestly.
Yeah, I didn't know that she had that power. I was watching that.
Yeah, because there's a big difference between you can make a glass break and you can knock people back with your voice.
I know.
That's like the difference between me being able to lift, I don't know, some weights and being able to throw a car.
Yeah, like I know that it's like being able to break a glass with your voice seems like something that like people can do in real life. It seems like a realistic thing.
I think
it's
they
like,
can.
oh, okay, that's realistic. I believe that.
It's also a matter of resonance, so it's not exactly a matter of just being loud.
Yeah.
So like you can do it with a stereo, not that loud. It just has to be at the right frequency for it to shatter.
Yeah, but then shooting like sound waves that are like visible with like rippling
and
special
people,
effects, it knocks people away.
That's the next level up. More like 17 levels up. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm really sad that it is getting a really spoiler alert, by the way. This is gonna be spoilerific. But if you want
Do you have a sound effect for that?
Look out, spoilers ahead.
All right.
I haven't changed that. The only reason I didn't label that button is because I'm planning on changing it. I just don't know to what yet.
I got a new sound effect for you.
Oh yeah, what's it gonna be? Oh, you didn't send me the link for that song you wanted me to use for the trailer or for the outro in the future.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so remember to send me that one.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, but yeah, what were you saying?
Just the wow sound effect, the anime wow sound effect. Is that something you're aware of?
Anime wow sound effect.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta look this up. But basically, what I liked about this was it treats the Suicide Squad as something that happened, but it doesn't really like drop too many. How do I word this? It showed scenes from it, but it kind of cut out Jared Leto as much as possible in the scenes where her and Jared Leto were in there.
Yeah. Why was that?
Well, I think they're trying to put some distance between them and that movie, quite honestly.
You can't do that though. Like,
I
it's
think you
obviously
Listen,
a spin-off of that film.
It obviously is, but
where she was prominently featured, as well as her love story to the Jared Leto's Joker, and the love story between them two is also prominently featured heavily throughout the film of Birds of Prey.
Okay, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, that's true, but I think they made the correct creative decision to go, How about no? Listen, and if you've been
Yeah.
watching the Harley Quinn cartoon, it covers pretty much all of that in much better fashion. So let me see here.
Not a lot of people are watching the Carly.
Well, I hope they are, because that's a great show. You should see it. Hang on, I got it right here.
You got it?
Yeah, hang on. Let me see. Is this what you're talking about? Wait. It's not. Oh, come on. What the hell? Oh, wrong one. Wrong slider.
Yeah.
I don't think that would go well with. I mean, there are apps I can do to put sounds onto the phone. I think I should do that. But for like these 8 buttons, I really want to save them for like primo stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So like.
And his name is John C.
So I want to keep it for stuff like that.
That's
you know?
for when we get John Cena on the show.
Yes, and then we just hit that shit. Or like when you tell a joke. You know, stuff
Pretty
like that.
accurate.
Yeah, or when I tell a joke.
Not as accurate.
Oh, yeah, right. This is it. Boom.
Still losing it.
You know what? I don't need your bullshit, man. So anyway, how does this movie start out?
I forgot.
It starts out with Harley Quinn basically drooling over this egg sandwich, cooked on the greasiest skillet, as she talks about.
Well, actually, if you go to the very, very beginning,
Oh God,
it's an animation
it is an animation. She talks about her
And she-
origins.
from conception.
Oh
The
yeah,
sperm
Meeting
that she
egg.
was
Yep.
that went into her mother's egg. And then it was her as a baby because she's kind of skipped past the whole pregnancy part of
Yeah.
her life.
Yep.
And then she was saying that she had like daddy issues where she always wanted attention from her father, but he would never pay enough attention
Well,
to
it's
her.
not that he didn't pay attention to her; it's that he kept giving her away. So
Traded her for a 6-pack.
Yes, exactly. But it kind of skips that quickly. She went to med school. She met the Joker. Yada yada. That's just a quick recap of her life.
Okay.
The movie starts proper when she's at this greasy spoon place, like that's partially like it's like one of those bodegas in New York, but it also has like a grill pad, like a flat grill where this guy's making an egg sandwich.
Yeah, it's like
And her acting is great. Like
She's great.
she put all her talent into like looking at this sandwich like it's like the last sandwich in the world.
yeah, and I think the cinematographer was like a maybe a Burger King or McDonald's commercial
Yeah,
cinematographer.
or he at least like consulted with someone from the fast food.
Yeah. So how do you show food in a sexy way?
Okay, so
How do you film food?
2 words: slow motion. 'Cause let me tell you, he's flipping that shit and doing that, and she's kind of like jumping back and forth between that, like talking about how since she broke up with Joker, she's been running amok, but no one believes her.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I really like, because she's basically a party girl, like just trying to party. She's kind of like that person you may or may not really want to date or really not want to date, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like she either has endless energy and that's awesome, or you just don't want to be at a club, you know, every weekend night, you know?
Yeah. What's the next scene? Is she like in a strip club or something? And
She's
like
in a bar. She's
in a
at
bar.
She's at the
she's doing like a little bit of a table
she's
dance.
at Black Mask's club, basically, and she's still running amok. She's like, she breaks Black Mask's driver's legs.
Yeah, because she spills a drink on him.
She
It's
spills
like,
a drink on him, and he's like, "Get down, you stupid bitch!" And realistically, normally, yes, that's like that kind of gives you carte blanche for a woman to do whatever she wants, basically. And so no one felt bad when she just jumped on his legs and broke them both backwards, like 60 degrees. No, more like I'd say 50 degrees the wrong direction.
And funnily enough, is funnily a word?
Yes,
That comes back later.
that does come back
in
later.
the movie. She's really good at breaking knees, apparently.
Oh yeah, she's great at that. Well, basically, yeah, that it turns out to be that's the Black Mask's. What is that? It's that
driver.
Yeah, his driver. What is his name? He played Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah, it's his. But what's the character he plays? It's come on, hang on. Vamp.
Vamp. Who's Vamp?
It means say stuff while I look at. When you vamp, it means you talk for a bit.
Oh, I didn't read your.
So it doesn't. So it does. That's okay for future reference. Vamp means go for a minute.
Okay.
So okay, let me see here.
Well, Ewan McGregor was in Star Wars.
Okay, wrong. Nope. Okay. So here we go. We got he was in Star Wars, but what I'm saying is what's the villain's name that he played?
Didn't you say it was Black Mask?
I think it was. I'm guessing. Ewan McGregor. I gotta look up.
His name was like
Roman Sionis.
Sionis, yeah.
Hang on. Let's try this again now. So what did you like about Roman Sionis' character?
Roman Sionis. Ewan McGregor did a pretty good job of that. He was hateable. He made himself really a villain there.
He was both neurotic and black. It is Black Mask. Okay. So he's that guy who's always got a skull face in the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's proper, like, organized crime, but with that supervillain, like, pastiche.
Yeah, and that doesn't come out until, like, toward the end. Spoiler, he doesn't really bust out the Black Mask.
Yeah, we already said spoilers, so go ahead and talk. But, so basically, yeah, she's still running amok, and everyone thinks that Joker is still dating him, so she's untouchable, basically. Everyone fears Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, like, this guy, Roman, he's, like, saying he owns the town, though. So it's kind of weird as he, like, everyone fears him, but apparently now Sionis owns the town, so there's no, like, real explanation for how...
Why doesn't Joker still own the town?
Right,
you know?
he's still the Joker. It's not like he just vanished, even though he technically kind of did.
Maybe Joker's just kind of like, he just comes, he's like the Olympics, he comes once every 4 years or something, and then he, like, kind of like, he's really in charge, but, like, day to day, it's like Sionis, right? He's just like the day to day kind of crime boss.
Maybe it's different, like, leagues of villainy.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, so I think, like, maybe, like, he's covering, like, a whole different, like, strata of villain. And then above that, it's, like, General Zod. You know?
How about that? The DC universe. Yeah, and then Darkseid or whatever.
Yeah, so it keeps going. Okay, so that might be it. But basically, yeah, he's building things up. And the whole, like, linchpin of this is, like, this diamond that has, like, a bunch of laser-etched, like, banking information on it.
Yeah, like, I like that because it wasn't just a diamond. The MacGuffin wasn't just like, oh, it's a fancy $500,000 diamond. It was like, okay, it has some like information in it, so that was pretty.
It's not
cool.
just get the diamond and sell the diamond, and yeah, so that was kind of cool. So basically, she meets up with like the different birds of prey. There's like the police detective who is building a case against Sionis,
played by Rosie Perez.
Oh, see, you know some stuff. So there we go.
Rosie Perez was in this.
What I like is I do like the put upon like detective who no one takes seriously, but the thing is like her police chief who like took all the credit for something, like she did. Like how did that work like twice? Like at the very end of the movie, like they beat up all the bad. I don't think it's a big spoiler to say all they like that's too egregious to say. They beat up all the bad guys, and like there's several people with arrow wounds and stuff like that, and like he still took the credit for the bust somehow. Like did he take credit for like I beat up all these people? Beat them with a baseball bat, and also used a crossbow bolt on them.
Who are you talking about again?
The police chief who took all the credit for the police officers' work, the detectives' work.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't really.
Didn't pay attention.
I don't know what you're talking about there.
Basically, it was a bit of a throwaway line. Like the reason she's like in the position she's in is because her old partner took all the credit for like some big bust. And then at the very end, he did it again with all the gangsters they beat up.
Yeah.
He swooped in and took the credit.
And
I don't know how you take the credit for a whole bunch of like. Did he show up there alone at first, and to this like amusement park, and just say, and then other cops showed up and he said, "I beat them all up."
I know, and plus like using movie logic. Let's say it's in the same universe as Bad Boys.
Yeah.
I'd say the DC universe is even more ridiculous than the Bad Boys universe.
If that's the case, like...
Because at least in Bad Boys, like, when they'd go off and, like, kill people and not arrest them, the police chief was like, you can't do that, I gotta...
He is the police chief, though. He's like their local boss.
But, yeah, like, so in the news, like, oh, Sionis, he gets blown up by a grenade.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. In a very cool scene. And, his bodies are just kind of... His body parts are just floating in like they're
already eaten
the ocean.
Yeah, they're already eaten by whatever crab found them.
And so what are the next morning the cops will come out and then there's this huge crime scene.
Yeah, like
all these criminals are dead, that he hired, and then he's like what his remains are in the ocean, and that's a whole mess that has to be cleaned up. And I wouldn't want to take credit for that. I would blame that on her.
Oh, yeah, seriously. Yeah, I put a grenade in his pocket and then threw him off a pier and turned him into human meat pie.
Yeah, that was a little...
That was a little over the top.
A little over the top. But it was more realistic in the beginning when someone can take credit for her work.
For your if you don't have explicit knowledge of what happened, you don't have to really explain. You just say he's a dickbag. Okay, I buy that. And no one buys what she.
But then at the end of the movie, it's like, oh well.
I know what happened. That doesn't make sense. Let's see. There's also the Huntress who's in this. Normally she's in a ridiculous purple costume, but here she's just in a quasi ridiculous costume with a crossbow. And it's the same story as in the comic book. Her family was a crime family. They got hit, and she's looking for revenge.
I liked her.
Yeah, she was great because they played her like super like goofy and awkward.
Yeah, she was kind of like their version of Drax. I was finding out.
Yeah, I think so.
Like they tried to Draxify her.
Yeah, so she was like she didn't know how to deliver lines all that well. It's like they call me Huntress, and so I'm not the crossbow killer.
There's some good chemistry with her and some of the other characters toward the end.
Definitely.
Like we have to keep jumping to the end here, apparently, but
well,
after they kill a bunch of people.
I mean, in movie like time, technically, this movie took place over the course of like a day tops.
Yeah.
But it covers so much time because she keeps going back like years sometimes to tell the story.
Because Rosie Perez, for about half the movie, is wearing a shirt that says "I shaved my balls" or something.
Yeah, because she got covered in like
garbage.
Garbage. Yeah, she got thrown in garbage. Okay, but anyway, what was it? So she's like her story is awesome because like that's the thing. Like I listened to the movie pitch guy, and he's like, yeah, it sounds like her should be the movie, right?
Yeah,
because her family gets murdered by during a power grab. She spends her whole like childhood trained and into young womanhood training to be an assassin, then to come back and get revenge. That's a whole movie.
Well, it's a lot like Kill Bill, like the Lucy Liu's character.
Lucy Liu's character? No, I think it's
in Kill Bill.
Lucy Liu. Yeah. Yes.
She was under the bed where.
Yep.
When the guy got stabbed and then the blood dropped onto her face and everything. It was all dramatic. It was like an anime sequence.
Yes, that was a really good sequence. But yeah, that's basically her story. Is like her family is killed and then she gets revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when when she finally does that, there's no like dramatic moment. It's like, yeah, that was literally this is how it was. It's like, yeah, that was the last person that I wanted to kill. So I'm done here. So see you guys later.
She literally just tries to go, well, I'm gonna take off now. So it was kind of funny, but realistically, like when you think about it, like one of the guys she went to kill like was trying to kill Harley Quinn because after that scene you see in the trailer where she blows up the chemical company.
Yeah,
it's like this is like a universe where like superheroes and supervillains are a known quantity, and it's like them like celebrities. So when everyone knows that's where she was made into Harley Quinn, I guess. Mm-hmm. So they knew when she blew up that tower, that chemical plant, it's like, oh, she's officially broken up with him.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, but
yeah, so
I guess so. It was kind of like everybody. Harley Quinn broke up with Joker.
LOL. And so yeah,
and then she basically has a target on her back, and everyone's trying to kill her.
Because no one's afraid of her; they're afraid of the Joker, I guess, at the time. And one of the guys is finally coming. Who comes to kill her with a crowbar? Yeah, crowbar. He has like clown stuff tattooed on his face, and and the Huntress shoots him.
Yeah,
and it's just okay, I guess that threat's gone now.
Yeah, but we find out that he was one of
the
her
hitmen.
most hated, adversaries for her whole life. She was trying to find this man, and she was training to find this man.
And you saw just the very end where all her training could have been solved if she just got good with a crossbow and just without the martial arts.
Yeah.
If she can hit a target from 15 yards away, she can still kill him.
Yeah.
So as you think about this movie more, you realize, it'd been cool if they gave Harley Quinn her own movie and then gave these people their own movie, too.
Yeah, and they kind of built up to it and stuff.
Yeah, because realistically, as you think about it, that's not a really good payoff for what's really a cool story. Like, I'm really sad this got the opening it did, but it's also, I can kind of see why, because this kind of shows, like, DC's problems with making movies, you know?
Yeah, their marketing ability.
Them rushing things.
Marvel, I believe it seemed like, and they probably did, 100% did, have a plan where, like, we're going to release this movie. We got the rights to Iron Man. We still got this. Let's make this really, really good. And it's like, we can't fail on Iron Man. This just has to, work.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about, I don't think it was even about the money. They're like, this has to be a good movie.
At a certain point, it was. I think the first Iron Man, that was just like the ending credit thing was just a throwaway. But then as it got going, they realized what they had, and it slowly built up into that big plan.
Yeah.
And so DC just tried to catch up like that by showing a bunch of like MPEGs of superheroes in one of the movies.
Yeah, so now you've got a DC universe that's kind of like disjointed and
kind of cobbled together.
You don't really have to see the next, like Marvel. You had to see the next Marvel
you
movie.
Really wanted to see them.
You had to see like this continuation of the story.
Even the standalone ones kind of tied in.
Yeah. Now with DC, it's like you don't really have to see Birds of Prey. People are like, yeah, I'll miss that.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's got Margot Robbie, but like that's pretty much all that's in it, you know.
But it's really fun. That's the great thing. Is like all these nitpicks. They're kind of nitpicks because realistically, you're looking at it from like after you've seen the movie. In the movie, it's a blast because it kind of gets to her like being in the police station with that grenade launcher that she uses as a beanbag gun.
Yeah.
Pretty quick, and you're not entirely sure why she's there.
Yeah, why she like Terminator wanting it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. She just busts in there, and like that is great. Like it's the best way to do violence to our boys in blue without being morally reprehensible.
Just shoot high-powered beanbags at their eyeballs,
canisters at their faces. Yeah. So and listen, the fight scenes in that are phenomenal. I really enjoyed those.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the fight scenes in that, and I was wanting to pick your brain about it.
Yeah.
And they were really good fight. They were really good fight scenes.
The choreography was great. Yeah,
they were solid fight scenes.
Realistically, they would have whipped out their guns and shot her, but you're in a police station.
But something that kind of bothers me about fight scenes, this is all movies. This isn't just Harley Quinn anymore. This is me speaking.
Yeah.
As a person is in fight scenes, they everyone throws every like one who can't even fight. Let's say no one can fight. Let's say it's police officers, right?
Right.
I can't imagine every police officer throwing a perfectly telegraphed straight punch that's perfectly angled to have the most amount of stretch.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that.
So that the camera can see their whole body stretching out.
No, yeah, they're not going to do that. It's like two of them are going to just tackle them. Tackle her at the same time, and all her martial arts aren't going to count for shit.
Yeah, they're probably going to try to like lunge at her or grapple or draw their weapons or something. Or
yes, they would have shot her. They would.
And if they're going to like hit her with the baton, they're not going to like wind back all the way to kind of that the audience can see the.
Yeah, it's a huge telegraphed wind. It's really those batons. They're designed so you can just whack someone in the thigh.
Yeah,
and they go down.
So. You know what they should do? Those were really good fight scenes, though. You have to telegraph it so that that's what's good about it. The audience can see
what's going on,
the action.
Yes.
Like it was very clear. The action in that was very clear. It was very telegraphed, and the stories that they told were very simple to understand.
And it moved around really well too.
I think the next step for movie fights is make them like look realistic.
Well,
that's what I would do.
That's why I kept showing you the Raid 2, the fight scene in the kitchen. That's like really real, in most parts, really realistic.
Pretty realistic, but that's if like you had two really good fighters fighting each other. I want to see like two people who aren't really good at fighting kind of do some kind of like fight
just
scene.
Brawl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can do that too. Just watch Roadhouse. Roadhouse. And so yeah, she keeps like coming through up to that place, and that's kind of where a lot of the hub of the story is when she busts into that.
Yeah, why is she doing that? And then we find out it makes perfect sense, kind of.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, because she's getting chased around by all these people who have grievances, and it lists the grievances.
Yeah.
And it's like some of them she fed like their brother to a hyena she was trying to buy. Some of them is like she just didn't give him sex. There's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And basically she gets caught by Black Mask at a certain point, and for some reason he lets her go find. I can find the diamond, and basically it's just so the movie can happen.
Yeah, it was kind of like contrived, I guess. It was like
a little bit, yeah.
It was a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, there's a bit of a
She's like, "Wait, look in my pocket," and then it's like a tampon.
It's like, yeah, that was good. Then the
other pocket.
Oh, yeah. It's the business card you were writing on. It's like, look at the second one down. It's like a finder of lost things. Okay, this
written in pen over something else.
Or somebody else's business card.
It's like this whole time we weren't setting up Harley Quinn as a finder of lost things. We were just kind of setting her up as like, the normal girl, badass. She has this messy apartment. She does roller derby.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, oh, wait a second. She's a finder of lost
She's a
things, apparently.
She's a detective, problem solver, and that's what I like about the Harley Quinn series. Is she is just it's like a story of like someone trying to make it in like Hollywood.
Yeah.
Except it's
Crime.
or super villainy.
Yeah.
So she's trying to get into the Legion of Doom.
Okay.
And so basically she has to like do big crimes, get noticed, get drafted by them. So it's kind of like a mix between Hollywood and like the NFL. And so it's really cool.
That's a good analogy.
And it's a reason for why she's doing all these things. And this one, she's just like, I just got dragged into this because I broke someone's legs.
Yeah.
In the moment, this movie's great, but I can see why it's like, as you think about it. What I liked, about that was like she was getting like she was about to get her face cut off because that's what Black Mask's thing was in this, is like you just cut off the face of people he doesn't like.
Yeah, there's a good scene where he's got people hanging upside down.
Yeah, so
he cuts their faces off.
Yeah, Black Mask. That's one of the that's one of the
pretty
people
messed
he
up.
wanted. Yeah, he wanted to do was he has a buddy who's like his murderous like enforcer guy, and he's about to like get her face cut off, and she's like, I will find the thing, and she's like, okay, go find the thing. And for some reason, he also puts a bounty on the girl who has the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why, just to make it fun. Just so you can have that fight scene where, for some reason, the Hells Angels managed to break into a police station with automatic weapons.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much. And what I did like about that scene when she was tied up, though, may have been kind of weird to other people, but she gets punched in the face a couple times, which I like that. I like our hero to get beat up.
A little bit, yeah.
So our hero, Harley Quinn, gets, beat up a little bit. She's not like a perfect, little, you can't touch me type character. And she has like this Marilyn Monroe kind of like dance.
She gets knocked
sequence.
into a music video for a minute, which I thought, I was gonna bring that up. That's a great bit. She's just singing like something about diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she knows about that diamond yet. It just happens to be an appropriate song for what's happening right at that moment.
No, I think he brought it up. He said like he was looking for the diamond. Remember, it got stolen.
Yes, it did.
It got pickpocketed.
Yep.
And then they got brought in, and it's like, all right, fuck, well, we're in trouble.
So yeah, she gets, so that scene is actually really fun, and then she gets punched back into it. Like you get a little look into her head, how she can be like, she's still nuts basically. Yeah. And this kind of leads us to Black Canary, because when she's heading out of there, because he gives her till midnight to get the diamond, and Black Canary's there, and so they've run into each other before at that club. She's a singer there, but she's also for some reason a martial artist.
Yeah, everybody's like a fighter for some reason.
Every female in this is a martial artist. And fine, that's cool, but it's Black Canary, I expect that. There's probably some backstory that they may have cut out, but so basically she defends Harley Quinn earlier when she's like partying super hard, and a couple of guys are about to load her into a van, and she beats them up. Yeah. And she becomes Black Mask's driver.
Yeah, because he happens to be wating, and
yeah,
like,
he
got you a new driver.
Yes, it's this chick that was your singer like literally 10 minutes ago. Like, can you drive as good as you fight? It's like, wait, do I need to? I'm just driving a car, right? It's like, it's like performance driving.
Well, I feel like if it was a getaway driver, right? Like in the movie Baby Driver.
Yeah, but she never has to do that. She just literally is like a taxi driver. It's like your chauffeur.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I don't know. I think it's just one of those lines you say just so you can say this is your job now.
But couldn't she also be like a singer and a driver?
I mean, she could, but she's no longer a singer. Really, she's just all driver all the time. She never sings again. And so she's getting a look.
And she does break the glass. We mentioned.
So we know she has some power. Like they say, Black Canary, and it's like, okay, I know who it is. Come on. But like anyone who doesn't know the comics is like, what's the deal with her?
I guess she's Journey Smollett, played by Journey Smollett. Is her name?
Oh, well, okay. I hope her journey is well. But no, apparently, the old driver had like, this is the thing, like with her, like the thing about Margot Robbie in this is like, she's a terrible person, but it's the weird thing where it's like, yeah, she's terrible to people who say something mean to her, so you don't mind that she's like maiming this man for life, basically.
Oh, Journey Smollett Bell.
Journey Smollett Bell. But what's the thing is like, she like breaks that dude's legs, and he turns out he's an informant for the police. Like he's like literally saving people's lives. So it's like you can't forget that she is a terrible person. It's just funny to like take a step back and watch her be crazy because it's kind of funny. So like when she's robbing that grocery store and she just clips that like grocery store manager's leg. Yeah. That could have like torn his meniscus, and now he can't like teach like youth basketball for at-risk youths, you know?
Yeah, and does she steal food all the time? Like, I wonder if that's like every time she goes to the grocery store, she just robs it.
Gotham's a big place, so she could probably make the circuit a few times before. Let's be
I was
honest.
thinking like, she's like, paying is for suckers. I'm gonna rob this place.
I'm robbing. Yes, she's they got the pickpocket with her. She broke her out of jail, and now they're tooling around town. She's getting her some laxatives so she can poop out the diamond, and
Yeah.
and yeah, so basically she's just like giving her the life philosophy. She goes through her life story, and she mentions Suicide Squad, and not by name.
Yeah, I was like,
Would that be weird? Be in the movie Suicide Squad.
And she got the thing removed from her neck, right? Blew up her head.
I hope so. They never really cover that, you know. Maybe Joker cut it out of her head.
Yeah, maybe one day, like the cops would come and blow their all heads up.
Yeah, her head just like, hey, wait, don't we still have the blower uppy thingy? It's like, yes, we do. Okay, well, she's like she's breaking into a police building right now. Maybe we could blow her head up. No? Okay.
So the device was stolen, but we still have the software. We could just make a new blower up device.
It looks like Flag's like Risk thing. He broke it, but then Elizabeth Warren had a phone version of it, so it's an app.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it might be a shitty app. So like if you update it, it just blows everyone up accidentally or something. But so yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, they never cover that. Like she gets in and out of the Suicide Squad a bunch in the comics, so who knows?
Okay. Yeah.
What was it? Actually, those movies are good though. If you ever get the chance to see the animated Suicide Squad movies, they're pretty fun.
Okay, I'll check them out.
It doesn't sound like you will, but listen, that's fine.
I'll check them out.
But basically, yeah, Black Canary. She finally betrays. She goes over to the good side after the cop approaches her. I think he sees her. He sees like Black Mask like force a guy to cut his friend's dress off and make her dance on a table. Like he goes fully like neurotic nuts. Like Black.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable scene.
Yeah, Black Mask is like he's a good villain because he's not just evil and kind of like he sees someone like a snot bubble and he says, "Up, cut off her face." But it's also like he's like neurotic and possessive and all the things that you see in like paranoid. So basically, they make him a toxic boyfriend, basically a really bad boyfriend.
Yeah, he's not doing too well. He's losing. They're not able to keep track of the diamond, right?
Yes, and
so he's like, he's at the club, right, and he's kind of pissed off.
Yep.
And there's a table across from him where they're just all kind of laughing, and this one woman laughs extremely loud from some joke or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "What is she laughing at me?" Obviously not laughing at her.
Yeah.
Him, right?
But then his buddy comes in and is like, "Yeah, she's laughing at you." It's like the buddy knows like how to like
manipulate him.
How to manipulate, because like when they lose the diamond the first time, he's like, we never had it. He knows to just say, "No, we never had it," so he doesn't die. He's like actually technically covering for Black Canary.
Yeah.
And also like he's technically like he has his loyalties to the point where he's like, "Listen, I gotta look out for my friend. I have to be there for him," even though he's also like basically a serial killer.
So yeah, then he walks over to that woman and cuts her dress off.
Yeah, well, he makes she makes her date cut her dress off.
Oh yeah.
Like he's always wearing like gloves and stuff, so he's a bit of a hypochondriac. So it's like he's got a long list of weirdness. So
yeah, I think that was a very good scene, and I think the reason that they had to do those scenes is because as bad as Harley Quinn is, like the villain
is worse.
Has to be worse than Harley Quinn.
Way worse. Because if it was just her going around and they made it kind of funny, you'd be like, no, she's a terrible person. You have to have this like face slicing off murderer who represents all the worst elements of like your last boyfriend.
Pretty much.
So yeah, it kind of climaxes with that fight we've been talking about where they have a bunch of guys with guns out there, but they send in the guys without guns first to make it fair.
I know.
They all stay outside actually, like, so a couple of guys like rappel in with guns, but they kind of beat them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they slide down, and then there are no more people with guns until they need to have people with guns to make it hard.
Yeah, and the reason he sends, like, I guess, why does he do that? He's done playing around because...
It's so the movie can happen.
Oh, it's because she betrays him, and he goes Super Saiyan, right? So
yeah.
He's like, no! And he has to put the mask on. He puts
the mask on, so instead of going golden hair, he goes Black Mask.
Yeah, it's a dark, brooding anger that he has.
Yes.
That he unleashes on the girls, not just the girl that has the diamond, but all of them. He
All
wants
of
to kill all of them.
Oh yeah, he really does. He's in a dark place, and basically,
And then that's when they realize, oh, we have to band together.
we have to work. It's a bit of a contrivance because like you just killed his BFF. It's like, well, he doesn't know that. You could just leave.
Yeah.
And then if you skip town, he's never gonna find you. Go back to that place where you grew up, where the family that raised you. You're done.
Yeah.
But it's a decent fight. It gets a little. It's less good than the police scene fight. Like Margot Robbie, they took her time with that one, the one at the police station, because that's really well choreographed with a lot of like slow motion and the gun and stuff.
There was another good fight when she was leaving the police station too with the little girl,
Oh, the little girl, which
the one who swallowed the diamond.
Yeah, remind me. So wait, the little girl fought?
No, Harley Quinn did, but she was in the storage area of the police station.
Oh yeah, that's
there was,
I
like,
think that's
those-
part of the same fight. That's all. That's the same like fight I consider
Okay.
it. Like so, yeah, the Hell's Angels, like the Gotham's Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
That's when they join in and start like trying to shoot her.
She lights the guy's beard on fire. I think we're talking about a lot of stuff, but she lights the guy's beard
Yeah,
on fire.
That was great. Apparently, he dips that in kerosene or something. I guess
I could imagine her like actually trying to do that. Like if they tested it on like MythBusters or something, it would like maybe burn a little bit, but wouldn't like engulf in flame.
It would be like plausible at the most if you use the right product.
She's like, I know that they all have this certain product that they put in their beard that's highly flammable. So this is the best solution at this
But
moment.
yeah, but again, that's the way better part of the fight where she has the baseball bat. And she's
Yeah,
like
it
hitting
is.
cocaine at him and bouncing it off the ground. Like
She
there's a lot.
breaks a guy's knees,
Oh,
and then she
yeah.
breaks it back.
That breaks it back the other. Oh yes,
The other
it was
way.
so much better than that final fight. But I don't
Yeah.
think everyone had the same like martial prowess that Margot does, or they didn't give her the they knew who was the star power behind this. I guess
Yeah, and then the last fight was kind of dark. It was in like the
it was like on a
carnival.
pier. Well, it was not a carnival. It looks like the same place, but they drove for like 5 minutes to get to a different waterfront.
Yeah.
And so they showed up, and it's like, oh, it's on a decrepit pier, and she has like one bullet in the holdout gun that the cop had, and that's when like the pickpocket like took a grenade. You knew that was coming back when she had the grenade, and she like picked him up, and I'm like, okay, when's the grenade coming? Come on. He's like, I took your ring. Like what? And it's like she pulls up and it's a pin.
Yeah.
That's a classic like grenade move where it's like, hey, what? Like that was in Deadpool, which you said like they made her kind of Deadpoolish.
Yeah, so she does. Harley Quinn does break the fourth wall, right?
Yeah, she's
and
talking
She
at you.
winks at the camera and talks to the camera and
Yep.
everything.
Honestly, one of my favorite parts is like it looks like she's kind of looking at the camera, but she's really the way she's longingly looking at that sandwich.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite part of one of my favorite parts of that movie because it's got the wind blowing at her and she's like, it's so wistful. Like all of her talent, right there was like used for that.
And that and the crying scene where was the scene where she was like crying?
Where she was you mean in the like after she got dumped and she's in her apartment?
No, there's a scene where she was talking to talking to Black Canary or something.
Oh yeah, she's at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Like you know what a Harley Quinn is? That's what the scene from the trailer. It's like, but really, a lot of people seem to really care about you beyond that being of service thing because they want to murder you because you're a terrible person. So it's not that they don't care about you, it's that you actively make yourself a target. I'm not saying you're asking for it, but what I am saying is you've committed a lot of crimes.
Hey, she's just a girl and she makes mistakes. We're all human. We're fallible.
Right?
And so that's what she represents in this. She's just a fallible human. She's not perfect.
Sociopathic person. Okay, so let me ask. Let's see. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
What would you say? You suggest seeing this in theaters?
I would because it's a good DC movie and that's worth seeing.
That's
in
worth
theaters.
seeing. You gotta support them. I agree because you gotta say like this is a good movie. Make more of this movie.
Yeah.
So I agree. I'd say just seeing it in theaters. It's a good movie.
I felt like it all kind of flowed. The tone all came together.
Yeah.
It was like just enough gritty DC and just enough like fun superhero romp.
Right.
And they kind of meshed
All
together.
the bad stuff happened to the right bad people.
Yeah.
So even though when you look back, it's like, oh, that is gruesome, but it's that funny kind of gruesome, I guess.
Yeah.
The tone, it doesn't have a problem with tone at all. All right. So that being said, thanks for tuning in to the Transmit Podcast, our spoiler episode for Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn. I'm your host, Spike,
I'm Victor.
and we'll see you next time.